So, hallo da draußen. Ich hoffe, euch geht's immer noch gut. Wir haben eine kleine Pause eingelegt, sind aber jetzt heute wieder dabei mit der dritten Folge von unseren Instagram Live-Interviews unter dem Hashtag Wir bleiben zu Hause live vom Elfenmagazin. Ja, wie gesagt, hatten eine kleine Pause, aber jetzt sind wir wieder da. Ich hoffe, euch geht's da draußen immer noch gut. Ich hoffe, ihr kommt weiterhin ganz gut mit der Situation klar. Immerhin sind ab nächste Woche die Baumärkte wieder offen. Das trägt ja schon mal ganz erheblich zur Rettung bei. Zumindest in Deutschland ist das ja ein ganz wichtiges Ding, dass man in den Baumarkt gehen kann, habe ich gelernt. Das rettet dann doch so manche Existenz über diese schwierige Phase hinweg. Ganz kurz, bevor wir tatsächlich ins Interview einsteigen, zwei Dinge, die ich gerne loswerden möchte. Zum einen möchte ich mich nochmal kurz dafür entschuldigen, dass die zweite Folge mit Lena Petermann so ein abruptes Ende gefunden hat. Das war so nicht geplant. Es hat auch nichts damit zu tun, dass Lena Petermann keine Lust mehr auf uns gehabt hätte und einfach grußlos verschwunden ist, sondern Instagram Live hat ein Limit von 1 Stunde und danach wird einem da einfach der Saft abgedreht. Das war uns so nicht bewusst. Und deswegen dieses etwas spontane Ende ohne Verabschiedung. Ich habe mit Lena Petermann nochmal gesprochen. Also wir planen da irgendwann auch nochmal eine Fortsetzung oder zumindest eine vernünftige, angemessene Verabschiedung. Wir haben mittlerweile festgestellt, dass wir beide Hundebesitzer sind. Also Lena Petermanns Hund hat auch alle möglichen Kunststückchen drauf. Kann man sich gerne auf ihrem Instagram-Kanal auch mal anschauen. Mein Hund kann keine Kunststücke, aber zumindest können sich die Hündchen dann eventuell anstarren in dieser Fortsetzungsfolge. Also da lassen wir uns auf jeden Fall noch was einfallen. Das wäre das. Und zweitens möchte ich ganz gern noch eine allgemeine Geschichte, in die Welt hinaus tragen, beziehungsweise mich einfach dafür bedanken, dass erstens ihr immer so zahlreich dabei seid bei diesem Format. Das ist natürlich für uns super, dass wir da entsprechend auch scheinbar den Nerv der Follower treffen. Zweitens auch ein Dank an die Clubs und an die Verbände, die das immer so eifrig teilen. DFB, aber auch die Clubs der Flyer Alarm Frauen Bundesliga, jetzt in dem Fall die Bayern, aber auch andere Vereine, Essen, Frankfurt, wie sie alle heißen. Das ist für uns natürlich super, weil wir jetzt noch nicht so die Followership haben, dass wir diese Reichweite alleine generieren können. Von daher mal ein Dank von unserer Seite auch dafür. Und ganz zuletzt möchte ich mich auch noch mal bei unserem Sponsor beziehungsweise bei auch dann meinem Arbeitgeber Flyer Alarm bedanken, ohne dass jemand mit einer Knarre hinter mir steht und mich dazu zwingt. Also das sage ich aus völlig freien Stücken. Denn gerade in diesen Zeiten ist es nicht selbstverständlich, dass ein Unternehmen dann ein solches Format und generell die ganze Elfengeschichte derart weiter unterstützt und derart weiter pusht. Da wäre es auch mal naheliegend zu sagen, jetzt kümmern wir uns mal um unser Kerngeschäft und diese ganzen Geschichten, die lassen wir jetzt mal bleiben. Das ist nicht der Fall, sondern da ist wirklich, man merkt, dass da weiterhin die Unterstützung voll da ist und das ist nicht selbstverständlich und deswegen möchte ich das an der Stelle auch mal kurz erwähnen. Nun aber zum eigentlichen Thema, zum eigentlichen Main Event dieses Abends, denn wir haben eine Gesprächspartnerin heute und eine hochinteressante, wie ich finde. Es gab jetzt schon einige Transfers, die verkündet worden sind von Teams der Flyer Alarm Frauen Bundesliga. So viele Spieler von außerhalb der Liga sind jetzt noch nicht verpflichtet worden und da ist Hanna Glas doch sticht da ins Auge sozusagen als eine wirklich hochkarätige Verpflichtung. Sie ist Rechtsverteidigerin. Sie spielt in der schwedischen Nationalmannschaft. Sie kommt vom französischen, ganz langsam, vom französischen Topverein Paris Saint-Germain. Und sie wird ab Sommer 2020 eben beim FC Bayern München dann auflaufen, je nachdem, wann die Saison losgeht, ob die alte Saison noch ein bisschen weitergeht. Jedenfalls, sie ist fest verpflichtet für 3 Jahre. Und das wollen wir zum Anlass nehmen, uns mit diesem Top-Neuzugang dann heute doch mal zu unterhalten. Wir werden das Interview auf Englisch führen, vielleicht auch mal ein paar Fetzen auf Deutsch, wenn ich versuche, irgendwas zu übersetzen. Vielleicht ist Hanna auch des Deutschen schon so mächtig, dass sie ein paar Sätze selber sagen kann. Vielleicht gibt es auch einen Fetzen auf Schwedisch, den wird dann allerdings nicht ich beitragen, da bin ich vollkommen raus, aber ich denke, auf Englisch werden schon alle klarkommen und trägt vielleicht auch ein bisschen zur Bildungsoffensive in diesen Zeiten bei und zum Thema Homeschooling. Ja, und damit genug der Vorrede, jetzt werde ich mal versuchen, Sie dazu zu holen. Also noch einmal herzlich willkommen, unsere heutige Gesprächspartnerin Hanna Erika Maria Glas. Das ist nämlich der komplette Name.
So let's see if that works. Hello there.
Hello. Can you see me? Hear me?
Yes, I can see you and I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
That's fine. That's a relief that this is working. Yes, I just introduced you. I assume that you understood every word because your German is already perfect, right?
Es ist nicht perfekt, aber ich versuche zu sprechen.
Oh wow, that's really good actually.
No, but I had some in school, and like all the basics is kind of still there, but it's gonna be good to freshen it up a bit.
But have you already like started to work on it a little more or to refresh what was already there?
Yeah, of course. I started with like some language apps, and also I ordered 2 German books to try to get my German going a bit better.
Like German language learning books or just German?
Actually, just German books. They're actually for kids, but it's a good way to start.
Okay, cool. And what kind of books are they? Like traditional kids stories or something like that?
I don't know
Are
if
you
they're
taking yourself back to
traditional,
your
like,
childhood?
no, I don't know if they're traditional, but it was just like some for kids, kind of. So easy language and that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, as soon as you want to switch into German, we can always do it. We can make the transitions, no problem.
Maybe the next interview we'll have, I can try and do it in German.
Okay, I know that down, and next one we'll do in German. That's fine. That's a promise. Okay. I introduced you as a right back, as a right wing back. Would you agree with that positional description or?
Yeah, I agree with that. I can play both as a right fullback and also as a wing back. For me, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Can you, for those that are not that familiar with the English position descriptions, can you explain the difference a little bit?
Um, right fullback is like when you have 4 defenders in the back, and I play on the right side. And then wing back, you usually have 3 central defenders, and then I'm more like alone on the wing and has to run a little bit more. But I'm more offensively higher position.
And which position do you prefer? The one where you have to run less, or the?
Like for me, it's kind of almost the same, but with a bit more defensive like responsibility as a fullback than a winger. Then you can have the ability to go a little bit higher up in the pitch more often. So, but like I kind of like both of them. They're funny in different ways.
Okay. What I didn't say yet, that not too long ago it was your birthday actually. So before we start, we're talking about other things. Happy belated birthday from Germany.
Thank
and
you.
from all of our followers, I'm sure.
Thank you so much.
In terms of the pronunciation of your name, how do you pronounce your name in Swedish? Because in Germany you would just say Hanna Glas. In English you would probably say Hanna Glass, like in the American English. So what's the actual Swedish pronunciation?
It's very similar actually to like the German pronunciation. So I would say Hanna Glas. So it's
Okay.
a little different on the last name, but it's still very similar.
Hanna Glas, would that be all right?
Yeah, that's
I have to. I'm doing my best. I'm trying my best.
it's okay.
yeah, you had your. Where did you celebrate your birthday actually? Like, where are you right now in these crazy times? Like, are you back in Sweden or?
Yeah, I'm actually lucky to be back in Sweden. It's
Mhm.
right now in France. So I'm staying with my boyfriend. So he lives here. So I've been staying with him since maybe the middle of March.
And how, like, you just the after Bayern made an announcement that they signed you, and there was the picture, but it was a bit unusual because normally you see this picture in the stadium, and you have like the stadium in the background, and this time I read that they just sent you a jersey, they sent you the contract, and that was it. Like, how did that feel? That must not have been how you envisioned doing this, right?
No, of course not. Neither me or the club. Like, it's not the way we kind of wanted to do, but the circumstances made like this way the only way, kind of. So safety first, as you say, and I'm just happy like to have signed and get everything done. So these times are a bit special, and the signing was also a bit special.
But is it just because you are leaving the club that you were able to go back to Sweden, or did like everybody who was not from Paris directly leave because of the situation? Did they let everybody leave basically?
It was kind of different what the people want to do in the team. Some stayed,
Hmm.
and some left a little later. Some left with like me pretty soon. So it was a bit different actually. Everybody did different.
Okay. So you said that you're staying with your boyfriend in Sweden now. I did some research, obviously, and I read or I saw somewhere that he's also a football player. So do you like train like one on one right now, or like how do you keep in shape, and how do you maintain your level of fitness?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have him, and that he also really loves football. So it's a lot of passing and technical things, and also I get to challenge him a bit. So it's nice to have someone to play with and train with. But there's also like a lot of running. I have a forest pretty close that I can run, and a big like mini mountain that I could go and run some intervals in that too. So I can mix it up a bit, and that's also good to get some variety of the training.
So I don't know if he's watching this right now, but who's better?
I still say him. He's actually really good. So he learned me a lot. So I'm happy to have him. He's a big inspiration actually.
So I assume he's watching because you would have said something different probably if he wasn't.
Maybe he's watching, yes.
So speaking about about your background coming from Sweden, how did you get into football in the first place? And like I have the notion that in Scandinavia in general, but in Sweden in particular, women's football has quite a high or a big reputation. It's always traditionally it's a women's football power. And so, like, how was it growing up there? And was it something natural to do playing football?
Yeah, like I think like it's the biggest sport in Sweden, so definitely that has a big impact on like my kind of choice because I also grew up. I have an older brother, and he
Hmm.
and his friends were playing football like in the park just above our house, and I saw them like every day and played with them, and that's how I kind of started. And everybody in the school played. Like I think almost everybody, not everybody, but like maybe 95% played football when we were
Hmm.
young. So it's kind of that culture here in Sweden, and probably because we also had very much success, especially with like the women's team uh,
Hmm.
back in the day. So they were also like big role models for myself and other young girls who started their career very a couple of years ago. So uh, that's kind of what made me start to play football.
And when was there I don't know, a specific situation, specific event, or was there some some realization that set in that where you saw, well, I could do this professionally. I could be actually really good at this.
It actually like took some time. I kind of figured out I was good maybe when I was 14, 15, like, okay, but I still didn't like believe that I could be this good as I am today. So my, like, of course, I always had a vision, like a dream to play for the women, like Sweden's national team and to win like World Cup medals and those kind of things. But those like dreams and visions became more realistic the older I got, and also like the more I played and developed as a player too. So in the beginning it was like a big goal just to play in the Swedish highest league, and then it was like, okay, I achieved that, and then it was the next goal and next goal. So I think it's really important to have those kind of goals that first of all are realistic, but then also you have ambition to aim so much more higher than that too.
You played in Sweden for a couple of years. You went up the ladder, I would say, in Sweden, playing second division, playing first division, playing for bigger and better teams all the time. But then there was a big change when you joined PSG. Like for me, but I didn't really follow how everything went down. But for me, that was like a big, like a shock moment, so to say, to go from Sweden and to go from names that I can hardly pronounce when it comes to the city names to a team like PSG. Like how did that happen? How did that go about? Or was it not such a shock like I imagined it?
Yeah, it was kind of like of a shock, and it all happened very suddenly. At the beginning, I just heard there was like an interest, and that was really flattering for me because, as you said, like I played in Sweden, and my contract were ended that season, so I was still like having thoughts, okay, where am I going to play next season, and those kind of like thoughts that you have. And then I just heard an interest, but it was like nothing specific and nothing concrete. Like I didn't have a suggestion, and then it all went very fast. So they said they really want me. They sent a suggestion, and because of their transfer window, it closed maybe, I don't know if it was just 10 days or something like that after. So it's like, okay, this has to happen fast. So I went down there and visited the training ground and met the coaches. And then I just like, okay, what am I going to do? Because this came out like nothing. But then I was like, okay, this is like the chance and the time I have to take a leap of faith. And I also wanted to try to develop and test myself as a player. So for me, I was like, okay, what a better opportunity to play for one of the best clubs in Europe. So then I took it, and I'm actually very proud, and I don't regret it at all that I did it.
And how did you, like, I don't know, coming from Sweden, maybe I imagined Sweden totally wrongly because I have never been there. And for me, Sweden is something like very cute and a lot of forest and not many people. And maybe I'm totally wrong about that. But it's still coming to a place like Paris, playing for PSG, which is like a world famous organization with like huge mediatization, huge following and everything. And being in France at the same time, like, was it a huge culture shock, or how did you adapt?
Actually, it was kind of huge culture shock for me because also like the culture, the way of playing football is totally different from how we do it in Sweden. So it took some time to adapt to that, but now like I've been there and I've learned so much from being in that kind of environment. So for me, I think it helps me to grow as a player, to get like some kind of insight and some experience from different kind of like ways to play football, and also different kind of football cultures.
And how did you adapt in terms of the football pitch? Like I spent time in France, and I know that the French are not necessarily willing to speak different languages than French. And so how did that go?
That was really hard because I didn't know any French at all until I moved there, because I had German in school. So it took
Which helps you now.
That's good now. So it was hard, and luckily I had like so nice teammates that helped me translate in the trainings and that kind of stuff in the beginning. But then eventually, like, you hear kind of the same things, you know, on the pitch for so many times. So I kind of quickly adapted to like to understand what they were saying, like not every word, but you know, kind of the context of it. And then
Mhm.
I also took some classes to learn, and then like it got better because you are in that kind of environment for so long. So eventually you learn the language too. So today I would say I'm doing pretty good. Mixing in some English word here and there, but I kind of understand a lot. But it's a bit hard to talk, even though I can have like conversations.
So you speak Swedish, obviously, you speak English, you speak French, you speak German, so you can have a second career in languages once you're done
Yeah, almost.
playing football.
No, but it's fun. Like language is fun, and you also connect with so many different like nationalities and players. So like it's awesome just be able to talk to them in different languages too.
How did you perceive the whole PSG situation? Because like in PSG, for me, like the men's team, it's like synonymous to being like a bit of a circus in terms with Neymar and with all these like superstars. And did you get any like, did it affect you, or did you get to know these guys, or aren't they even like, is the circus notion totally wrong, or how was that? That's interesting for me to understand this an organization like PSG.
Mm, actually, like I know some of the girls met the men's players a couple of times, but overall we didn't have a lot of contact with the men's players at all. We
Hmm.
actually trained on different facilities, so
Okay.
but like it was if we watched the game, I know some of them watched the game once or a couple times. So, but other than that, like no, we didn't get affected either by the kind of circus things too. So no, not much like contact with them. Just some kind of some media events, but no more than that.
Okay. How do they handle the, I don't know, the marketing, the organization? I get the impression that PSG is a very serious organization, or that they are trying to, I don't know, to fully integrate the women's team. Is that correct, or is that just an assumption from outside that that's not correct?
No, actually, I think that's kind of correct. They had a lot of people working with the social media and the marketing part. So I felt, especially like compared to here in Sweden, I felt it was a bit of different, like it was another level. So I was actually really impressed. And also when we were away for like away games and those kind of things, then usually we had like 2, 3 people just working with the marketing or media. So it was actually, I was really impressed by that.
Okay. Um, this year, or this summer, you're embarking on a new adventure. Basically, you decided to leave France and to go to Germany. I'm interested in how this happened. I read somewhere that there was also interest from other places, which of course is imaginable. Like there seems to have been interest from Madrid as well, and like these are not bad cities to choose from. I mean, you could stay in Paris, you could go to Madrid, you could go to Munich. That's not. I mean, that's kind of these are decent choices. But still, I'm interested in what did Bayern Munich do in the end to turn the table in their favor, basically.
Uh, well, as you said, like I was so grateful. Like it's like hard to choose, but it's still like I can't be more grateful to have those all of those options to choose from. But the thing with Bayern, like that spoke to me was especially like their style of playing football, and also like their coach Jens a lot, and
Mhm.
like the way he wanted to use me, and uh, like the style of play that they have. Also, I feel like the club's ambition also suits me really good. Like they want to get back the #1 spot in Germany, competing against Wolfsburg, and they also want to win Champions League and the cup. So that's kind of what I also want to win titles, and that together with Jens and the style of football he wants to play, it was that who kind of made me choose Bayern Munich.
And what is the, or what are the aspects of the style of football that sort of convinced you that you think you can fit in very well to?
He's really want to have like a passing oriented style, so a lot of possession of the ball, and that also allows me, like especially as a fullback, to have the opportunity to follow up the attacks, and also that I can do. I'm very good at like crossing and assisting, so hopefully I can run along the line and get some assists.
At Bayern Munich, you're going to meet a lot of German national team players. There is some history there that maybe you know where I'm getting at. At the last World Cup, obviously, Germany went out a little earlier than we would have wanted, than we would have expected, and we lost to a team from Scandinavia, which might have been your team. Like, are you already afraid of the first practices? Do you think there will be some retaliation, or is this something where you say, well, this is over and done with, and we can focus on the on the present now?
No, I'm not scared of that at all. It's just like a little fun to have that memory in mind. But obviously, we will probably joke about it and laugh at it. They know it's football. I know it's football. Those kind of things will happen, and we will probably meet again soon enough in some other championship.
And probably there's also a separation of club football and national team football, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. Also, it was now in the World Cup, also in PSG, I played a lot of my teammates there too. So there's no hard feelings like afterwards, kind of. It was the same way that I have 2 Canadians in my team, and we also won against them. So, but there was like no hard feelings. They were still so happy for me anyway after.
Well, we can talk again after the first practices. Then you can let me know if you want to change your statement in some way, or
exactly
if everything went fine. But at Bayern Munich, you're not only going to meet German players, but you're also going to meet a compatriot of yours, Amanda Illestedt. I'm probably doing this wrong again. You might want to correct me. But like, did you talk to her beforehand, and was she also instrumental in your decision? Did she talk to you about the club and everything?
Yeah, actually, I talked a lot with her, and we had a lot of discussions before my decision. And I'm so happy and thankful that she helped me, because there's a lot of questions, and some questions, it's like one of the coach's perspective, but it's also good to have a player's perspective, because that's what I am too. I'm a player. And to get that information, it was like so important for me, and it really helped me out making my final decision.
So in terms of like the practical side of it, how does this all work out now? Or do you also say, well, I don't know either? Like in terms of, I don't know, finding a place in Munich, knowing when to go there, being in touch with PSG about whether the season is going to finish or not, and like how do you manage all these things? And I can imagine it's pretty hard, and you're pretty in a situation of constant, I don't know, constant confusion right now.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but still, like the ambition and the goal, as you said, we will see what happens, is to be able to be in Munich by the beginning of July, and then hopefully I can finish the league first with PSG. But still, you have to take it day by day. Everything feels like it changes like enormously from week to week. But like, I'm ready to finish the league with PSG, and I'm also ready to start the league with Munich next season.
And have you actually physically been to Munich yet? Have you seen anything, or is it just people showing you, well, that's the city and you have to believe what they're showing you?
Actually, I was lucky enough. I went there before the Corona pandemic like
Okay.
exploded. So I'm so happy I had time to go there and visit. So I visited mostly the campus, and it was really beautiful. Like, wow, what a facility! And feels like even the next step from a club like PSG. So that's going to be really exciting to be able to train and work there to improve and be better as a football player. And the city,
Um,
I've been to a couple times, but I haven't feel like I've time to explore it as much as I want. But I will have that now.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's very beautiful. But I think Munich is a bit like they always say that Munich is a village actually, or it's an I don't know, it's an assortment of villages that were put together basically. And I think that's also that's the flair of Munich as well. That it's a big city, but on the other hand, it's also like a village.
It sounds cool.
But that part about Munich being a step up from PSG, can you repeat that slowly so that we can tape it and that we can put it on the league website somewhere?
No, but it's just like with the facility, it's like we still had a really good pitch, and but it feels like it's like the next level with the Munich. So I was actually really impressed when I saw how good they were having it there. So I'm excited about that.
That sounds good. Because like for right now, we of course we are German and we represent the league in some way. So we of course think that the German league is still very good and it's still a high level league. But like right now, fashionable leagues are I don't know of course the Premier League in England and I don't know Southern European leagues are coming along. But that didn't like deter you in any way. You just looked at the different options and you said, well, Munich is the one I want to go with.
Yeah, kind of like that. And also for me, like the German league is still one of the best leagues in Europe, and it has been also
Mhm.
for a really long time. So that was actually nothing that never crossed my mind, that being worried about the league's status and everything, because for me it's really good, like physical and high tempo. So
Mhm.
I'm excited.
That's great to hear. Um, you have a long history of quite a hard injury history. You've had three cruciate ligament injuries, the famous Kreuzbandriss in German. I hope that you never have to use this word again.
No.
But still, that's the German word. But like, how do you come back from this? I mean, I know that if you have this injury once, that's already hard enough. But to have it three times, was it three times the same knee, or was it different knees?
I've had it two times in the right knee and one time in the left.
Okay. And so, how did you like? I can imagine the first time you're still very motivated and you want to come back and you say, well, it's a one-time thing and I'm coming back. But the third time, like, don't you just say, well, now I'm done? Or how do you get motivated if it happens the third time?
It's a good question. Like some days I'm like, wow, how did it even like get me through all of those three injuries when I see like teammates and friends going through the rehab. But I don't know, like I've always been very stubborn, even since I was a child. So I think that played a
Mhm.
like huge part of it. And I also like, I'm very ambitious too. And that made me, I like to work hard and work for my goals. And that in combination, like with the love that I have for football, helped me a lot. And also I had like amazing support from my boyfriend and my family and friends. So I was very lucky to have that support, because without that I don't think I would have been standing here today either.
But like, what did you or how did you see getting back to the level that you were used to? Like I can imagine that coming back from these type of injuries, you still have some like 10% you're still afraid that it can happen again, that before you trust your body again and stuff like that. How long does that take? because you're out for a certain time because of the injury, because of getting operated and whatever, having surgery. But then I imagine there's still a time left where you're not 100% because you just psychologically that you don't trust your body that much anymore.
No, and like during the whole rehab process, it was like one of the difficult things to handle because maybe you had the strength in your knee, but like I remember the first time I was gonna jump after the surgeries, and it was so scary. Like, can I do it? And like you started off and it looked really bad, and then it got better and better, and then you started to trust it and like, okay, I can actually do this. And it was like that with all the new things during the whole rehabilitation. So um, it was the same like when you were getting back to football. Okay, can I do this? But then once you've been in your first tackle, like, okay, I can actually handle this. And then you start to feel more confident and you start to build more trust to your knee. And I don't know, it just takes like, you have to just try kind of, and then feel like that you can make it. And from that, like, keep working and build even more confidence.
You signed a 3-year deal with Bayern. Like, do you feel that you just turned 27? Like I said, your birthday was just recently. Um, do you feel that you're entering your prime now as a player?
Um, yeah, kind of. I still hope that I can be like even better, and I feel like I can also develop and become a better football player. But I feel like, as you said, this is supposed to be the prime age, and I feel like I'm in a really good place, a really good shape, and I have so much to contribute to my teams now. And yeah, I feel in a really good shape. So yeah, for now, I feel like the best shape I've ever been in. So I will say I'm in my prime right now.
Okay, then well, Germany is excited to see that prime on the pitch. But do you have like coming up as a young player? Do you have like role models or players on the male side, on the female side that you like model your game after, or is there anybody where you say like this was somebody that I looked up to or that I still look up to?
Yeah, of course. I had a lot of role models when I was young. We had Swedish attacker when I was very young, Hanna. She was really good and a big inspiration. And then she also had the same name as me, so it was really cool to have her. But like later on, it was usually like other defenders that I was looking at, and with Marcelo was like, and still is, one a big role model, and also Alaba playing in Munich too.
Mm. Well, you get to meet him soon, probably.
Yeah, hopefully. So I just like the way their kind of way of playing football, and it looks so fun, and they really been inspiring me to keep developing, and I don't know, just new things to be able to try during games too.
So, what do you think about the Swedish footballer that everybody immediately comes to mind when you think about Swedish footballer, Mr. Ibrahimovic? I think you can either love him or hate him. I think there's not much in between. What's your stance on him?
For me, like, I love him.
Okay.
What a player, and I'm so happy he's still playing. And it's the same like with, I know also like Messi and Ronaldo start to get a little older, and you just never want the era to end. And I just hope they keep on playing for as long as possible, because like it's a true joy to see them all play.
I mean, it seems that there's no real age effect on Zlatan. I mean, he's still like he he went to the States and everybody was like, okay, he's old, he's done now, he's washed up. And then he comes back to Milan and he's scoring again like he was 20, 25, 20, 23 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, like huge credit to him for being able to do that. It's not a lot of players who can have that kind of mentality or the physique that he has. So all the credit to him, and I still, as I said before, like I really hope he continues to play and to continues to score.
But what's public opinion like in regard to him in Sweden? Is he more of a, like, is he a national hero, or is he viewed in a, I don't know, are there many people that don't like him, or because he's kind of like polarizing in terms of his character and like the stuff that he does, stuff that he says?
Yes, but like I still get the feeling that the majority in Sweden still loves him and like are happy that he's connected to Sweden, and that, as you said, like when someone say football in Sweden, it's usually his name that comes up. And I hope, like I feel at least proud that he's Swedish and representing our country like extremely well. So for me, like all of my friends and all of them like has the same opinion, and I think that the majority in Sweden has that too.
Talking about Sweden, changing the subject to something that doesn't have anything to do with football. It seems that right now, at least subjectively, you can be pretty lucky that you are in Sweden right now, because restrictions there, I think, are much less strict, much less repressive than, for example, in Germany or even in France and in other countries. On the other hand, there's a lot of talk that the Swedish model, the Swedish way, in terms of this COVID-19 thing, is not really working, or there are dangers. Like, how's your, I don't know, not your opinion, but how do you like experience this on an everyday level, basically? Like, how's the situation in Sweden? Is everything like looking basically normal, or?
Yeah, kind of like a lot of things look normal, but then you can like walk in the city and see like there's not a lot of people, or you can still feel like there's something, like people aren't out as much, but still I'm actually happy and thankful that we haven't been in a lockdown, because I really like to go out, and also with the training to be able to just go for a run and those kind of things. So I'm still trying to avoid, like I don't go to the city for shopping or lunch, and so I'm really trying to avoid people, and I hope that all of you guys out there still doing the same in Sweden. So it's still like a serious problem, but I'm happy, like I really hope that a lot of Swedes like keep trying to avoid people and don't travel and those kind of things. Like for me, for an example, like my mom and dad live in Sweden, but I haven't visited them at all, even though I've been in Sweden for over a month, because I'm too scared like to get them infected or the opposite, and like really respect the restrictions and the directions from the Swedish government. So I hope that a lot of people do, but I'm thankful that I just can go out whenever I want.
But are there any, like for example, here in Germany, it's really strict. There are like the chancellors on TV every other day, and then like instructing the population what to do, basically, and also like imposing fines on if you're not complying with these instructions. Same thing in Sweden, or is it more like just people like recommending not to do certain things, but not really imposing any fines? Or
no, it's like you said, we don't have that kind of fines that you have in Germany or in France too. So it's just more like recommendations more than a regulation, if you say that. So I don't know, but it's a lot of trust in the Swedish population, and I just hope we don't take the trust for like that, we just use it, and that we really can behave good like as a nation and as a citizen, because it's a difficult problem and a difficult time. So we have to do, like everybody has to do what they can, and that right now that's like try to avoid people as much as possible.
So the Swedish government probably thinks that the Swedish population is just smarter than we are in Germany, and will do it without repression, and just because they are intelligent people. And in Germany, that won't work.
maybe it's like that. I don't know.
So you said that you're trying to like avoid people the best possible, and that you're not going out that much. I read somewhere or heard somewhere that you like TV shows, you like TV series. So I assume that you've been like binge watching Netflix the last couple of weeks. Like, what are the shows that you watch these days? What are the top shows that you like to watch?
Well, recently, like me and my boyfriend, we discovered Survivor, like the American version. I don't know if you have it in. Me too. And that has actually been really fun, and it's totally different from the Swedish version. So lately, it's been a lot of Survivor, but I also like. I've been watching some Riverdale and what else? Feels like I've finished so many different series, but haven't been that much Netflix. Mostly like Survivor the last weeks.
So you still have stuff to watch. There's no danger that you're running out of shows to watch.
No, that's not a problem at all. And like sometimes also you get a bit tired from watching the TV all the time. So I'm just trying to maybe read a book, listen to some music, or just go out for a walk.
What other interests do you have, like aside from obviously football? But like, I don't know, do you have a dog, or do you have any interests that are not like football related? How do you relax if you don't have to think, or when you don't want to think about football?
Usually, I love to spend time either with my boyfriend or friends. So, but just doing like activities, even though it's not football, but I like to go and shoot some hoops with a basketball, or
Oh, wow.
just playing
Okay.
some. I don't know if you guys have it, but it's called kub in Swedish. That we have like some wooden things, and then you're supposed to throw them down. It's in teams, so those kind of things, or just playing social like board games or cards. I love that too. So board games is a favorite actually.
Okay. So, but if you like to shoot hoops, then I can recommend the Michael Jordan documentation on Netflix. You should watch that. That's
okay.
Yeah. Then if you watch the first episode, you will immediately go out and shoot hoops. I can tell you, I did, and it's an immediate reaction. You cannot help it. That's
I will check it out.
That's happening. Yeah. We have like a running gag going on this program, like a tradition that we have started. Every guest that we have is asked to tell a joke. I don't know if there's anything you can think of. Of course, it's a bit different when it's not. I mean, you can tell a joke in Swedish, which I will not understand, but I see that there are a lot of Swedish people following, so maybe you can also tell a joke in Swedish. I will just laugh, but I will not understand it, obviously.
Wow. Okay. Oh, fuck. This is hard though. More like joking in the moment, but I don't pull the jokes. Wow. That's hard. I can't come up with something right now either.
You can just say anything in Swedish. I will think that it's a joke because I don't understand a word.
Okay, the only one, like the first one that comes to my mind is so boring, but it's like just two tomatoes crossing a road, and then one of them gets hit by a car, and then the other tomatoes say, "Hey, come on, you have to catch up."
That's not even bad. That's all right.
It's a bad one. It's a bad one.
That's all right. I would like to try to explain a joke to you that a German football website, which is called Fums. It's a German like mixture of fun and football. Basically, it's very popular in Germany. They have a lot of followers. And once the Bayern Munich announced your signing, they said, and now I try to explain this, but it's really hard to explain. Now that they signed you, they should also sign Timoe Bakayoko from, I think he played at AS Monaco last or something like that.
Okay.
Because they want to have Yoko and Glas in the same team. Which doesn't make sense to you now. I see your reaction, it doesn't make sense. But there is a German TV show actually called Yoko and Glas.
Ah,
So, but it's a very bad wordplay, and it's really tough to understand. But it was something that for like I found it very very funny. But if you don't know this TV show and if you don't know German that well, it's a bit difficult. But I still wanted to try to explain to you if
okay.
somebody ever tries that joke or if somebody ever talks about that, at least you have heard of it before.
It's good to know. Good to know.
And I can send you the link to Yoko and Glas, and then you can brush up your German with that TV show because it's really funny. And once you understand this, you're really good at German because they
Okay.
are like kind of tough to understand, a lot of wordplay, a lot of stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. You have to send me the link so I can watch an episode.
Yes, part of the Germanization of your Germanization. This will be the
Exactly.
first step. Okay, well, I thank you very much for coming onto our little show today. I hope you had some fun. I think our followers did. I think they liked it. We're almost out of time because I learned that after 1 hour, Instagram automatically shuts down the Insta
Oh,
Live. So yeah, we had that last time. We were just talking, and all of a sudden it was all went black.
mhm.
So now I think yeah we're almost out of time. If there's anything that you want to, I don't know, get out into the world, there's your big chance. If you want to say something, please say something in Swedish to the people from Sweden that were following, because I will not be able to.
Tack alla som har tittat och heja på mig. Fortsätt följa både mig och min resa i Bayern och ta hand om er och tvätta händerna.
So there were a lot of hearts coming up, which I think you said something very positive, and everybody liked it. Like I said, I obviously didn't understand, but I think it was good because a lot of hearts were in the frame. Well, thank you again. I wish you a great time at Bayern Munich, and I think around, let's say, October, November, we can do this again, and then we'll do the entire show in German. Sounds like a plan?
Yeah, let's try that.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Stay safe in these crazy times, and yeah, see you soon at Bayern Munich's game in Flyer Frauen Bundesliga.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Ja, das war der erste Versuch, das Ganze in englischer Sprache zu machen. Ich hoffe, es war verständlich, aber ich glaube eigentlich schon. Ich denke, ihr seid ja alle sowas von fit im Englischen, dass ihr da klarkommt. Das nächste Mal sind wir wahrscheinlich wieder auf Deutsch unterwegs. Wir sind gerade dabei, Simone Lauder zu überreden, auch in die Sendung zu kommen. Die ganz genauen Daten und Termine stehen noch nicht hundertprozentig fest. Wir werden es so als Format einfach beibehalten und ich hoffe, ihr seid auch beim nächsten Mal wieder dabei. Ansonsten schönen Abend von unserer Seite. Genießt das schöne Wetter, auch wenn es natürlich ein bisschen schwierig ist mit den Restriktionen, aber man kann ja alleine ein bisschen was machen. Und ja, dann hören wir uns einfach demnächst wieder und Zeit und Datum werden wir noch entsprechend kommunizieren. Danke, dass ihr dabei wart und eine gute Zeit. Tschüss.